be out here again. Damn good.
Man, I'm all itchy.
Goddamn cigarettes are getting hard to find.
This place gives me the creeps.
Caravan of two now.
Hey there. What the fuck you want, huh? Maybe they don't want to talk to you. Maybe they ain't here anymore. This is our turf. What? You gotta be kidding me. Fuck. Why do I always gotta fix someone else's crap around here?
What are you looking at, huh? Answer me. You think I give a shit? Has it crossed your mind? Maybe because her mother's trying to break her back, planting crops that die from rads as soon as they're in the ground. Or maybe she's just a dupe. And you think that's worth her happiness? And how exactly would you do that?
Back off. I know how to use this gun, and I'm not afraid to shoot if you try anything. I've put up with their shit long enough. No. Then what the hell do you want? Okay, but this better not be a trick. What are you talking about? Andy wants to help me leave this hole. That son of a bitch! I don't know what I want, but I hate this place and I hate these people. It all used to be so simple. Why? Do they? Look at my mother. All she cares for is a patch of bare dirt where nothing green will ever grow to feed us. My father? A trading business that he'll never own, risking his neck every day against wastelanders and cutthroat merchants. And I'm supposed to be part of those dreams? What about my dreams, stranger? What about me? It's all me, isn't it? The pain, the anger, my joy. All of that's just me. I should have met you before, stranger. Thank you.
If this means more stuff for Butch, I'm all for it. If this means more stuff for...
Let's deal.
If this means more stuff for Butch, I'm all...
Fine by me.
Sure, give me whatever you got.
Hold up here.
What am I
Don't be
supposed to do
long.
here? Work?
actually gonna do something, or am I gonna stand here all day?
Fine by me.
Can we go now? Yeah,
Let's hit the
let's
road.
hit it.
Ready for...
Can't tell you how glad I am you butchered the fiends. Caravans across the wastes are gonna be buying you drinks for years. I'm fair with chucking dynamite, not bad with a pistol, if I do say so myself. Prefer settling things with my fists, though. Made more friends than corpses in bar fights. Don't think I'm some kind of Vault City pacifist, though. All right.
More action.
What's the story, my fellow tunnel snake? Yeah, very funny. Tunnel snakes rule!
Yeah, what is it? What? Are you serious? Whatever, kid. Whatever.
Sounds like it's gonna be an all-out war with the Legion soon. I'll make my...
Fine weather for flying. It's times like these that make me miss it all. Vertibird pilot. 71 missions and only lost one chopper. 4? No, not exactly. It was a long time ago. Things are a lot different these days, and those days are way behind me. Watch your 6 out there.
What's up? Sure, just don't treat me like a pack Brahmin, okay?
Your travel's been going... Told you everything about us, did he? There's a chance I could crash us in the middle of Lake Mead. That place seems to attract aircraft for some reason. But if I get one more chance to fly... I was never happier than when I was in the cockpit. I was able to go just about anywhere and everywhere, limited only by the fuel I could carry. There were more than a few missions where I took the scenic route home just so I could stay in the air. Caught hell for it every time, but worth it. Some of the things we did were questionable, I know. That's just how it was back then. Figure I've done enough good to make up for any sin.
Since my mother died, Daisy's been the only woman in my life. She was the only other woman close to my father, too. She flew him out on over a dozen missions, including his last. There have been some good men along the way, but lovers make poor confidants. Daisy never had children of her own, so she was always there to listen. Being in the Enclave didn't mean much to her. She just loved to fly. As screwed up as it sounds, at least she was a part of something. Granted, it was something admittedly pretty bad, but if you spent the first half of your life flying Enclave troopers in a vertibird, I suppose picking over pre-war rocket parts doesn't quite compare.
best.
Well, it's about damn time. What took you? Oh. I've been in the Reaper's shadow for a long time now, and I thought he'd finally showed up to collect. He's just mocking me now. There's a twitch in my trigger finger. I've lost my eagle eyes, and the other day I could have sworn I heard Sergeant Dornan chewing me out. I'm old, and I'm starting to feel it. It's not pleasant, especially when you know your mind's slipping away. And we all gotta go sometime. But I was hoping for something a little more heroic. He was a drill instructor I knew. He was also the meanest bastard I've ever known. Once he caught this private out of uniform, and old Dornan went off on the most ear-blistering rant known to man. It was inspiring. Yeah. It was a long time ago. Things were better back then. What do you want to know? Ha! I'm not saying. It's part of my mystique, after all. The truth of it is that I did cut out a raider's heart, but only took a bite to mess with his buddies. They had me surrounded, and I went with the first thing that came to mind. Some ran, and the rest were startled just long enough. Sure do. Had a wife for a while. Tribal girl, really pretty eyes. But she's been gone a long time now. Well, ain't like I've got places to be. Thought I recognized the fellow with you. So what's this reunion all about then? Well, now there's an interesting idea. Do a bit of good before we're all dead and forgotten. You can count me in. Oh, and in case Arcade forgot to mention it, there's a 5-word passphrase needed to get into the bunker. My word is old. Appropriate, huh?
If I had to pick anyone who didn't belong in the Enclave, it would definitely be Johnson. He hated what the Enclave was doing. Day to day, week to week, he would question orders, subvert mission objectives, do anything he could to serve without serving. It's amazing he was never court-martialed. He always had good things to say about my father. Said I was like him in a lot of ways. I wish I knew. I grew up without him. I'll always feel like something is missing from my life, but you're right. It's not like I'm the only kid in the wasteland who's grown up without a dad. Johnson always said my father was a good man. If that's the only thing about me that's like him, that's enough for me.
looks like I forgot to lock the doors again. If you're with the NCR, get out. This place is mine, and I'm not leaving. Oh, like you wouldn't believe. The NCR makes a habit out of wrecking homes. I came out here to get away from them. Didn't work out so well. Next thing I know, I'm squatting in their land. Never mind that I already been living here for years. I don't do anything. I'm retired. I was a soldier. Why do you even care? I came out here to forget about the past, so quit bringing it up. In a while, Arcade. So, what's the point of all this? Can't find any younger mercenaries? Is that right? The million-dollar question is, who exactly are we settling? I wouldn't mind cutting down a few platoons of NCR troopers with my old Gatling laser. Oh, I'll come. But depending on the plan, I might not be staying. Keep that in mind. Arcade might have mentioned there's a passphrase needed to get into the bunker. My part is, remember. Heavy weapons trooper. Nothing better than hosing down a target with an excess of bullets and laser fire. By the time I got through with things, not much was left standing. Any morons who didn't run when they saw me coming got what they deserved. Back then, it was war. If we'd been on the winning side, I'd be called a hero.
Moreno took the fall of the Enclave hard. He never questioned his orders, never questioned the legitimacy of what the Enclave was doing. To him, it was all one unbroken chain, from Washington to Richardson. When we left Navarro, I remember looking up at Moreno. He said, "Kiss America goodbye, boys." When we left the Enclave behind, the love in him burned itself out. Now there's just a bitter old man left. I suppose you're right. When you're part of something for that long, maybe it's impossible to let go without losing part of yourself. Moreno may be a stubborn son of a bitch, but at least he's loyal.
Have you seen that tower on the strip all lit up? You can see it from miles.
West Side, huh? I passed through here with another follower a while back, Anderson. The locals were having a lot of trouble getting water through.
You don't strike me as someone down on their luck. What brings you to West Side? I help tend the crops, stand watch for fiends, and generally help keep things civilized. Couple of years now. I was a trader for a while, but got tired of all the walking. Hello, Arcade. Why the need for a bunch of old war horses like us? Well, assuming our equipment cache is intact, my squad would have the edge in armor and firepower. There's only a handful of us, though, so the best tactic would be for us to swoop in where the target isn't expecting us. How am I doing? I'll be there, but it won't mean squat if the rest of the group isn't there, too. Oh, and you'll need my part of the I miss those days sometimes. We all had a purpose, you know? I admit that some of the folks in charge were pretty ruthless. The rest of us, though, we were just trying to civilize things. The NCR was still new, and it didn't look like they'd last all that long. Then we lost the oil rig, and shortly after that, the base at Navarro. Nobody left except us remnants. Internal sabotage took down the oil rig. Never did get the full story. The NCR took out Navarro, saying we posed a threat to the region. I was the officer in charge, and Johnson and Moreno were my heavy hitters. Henry handled tech things, and Whitman flew the chopper. Johnson and Moreno never got along, and I had my hands full keeping those two apart some days. It was a difference in philosophy, mostly. Mercy was not part of Moreno's vocabulary. Uh-huh.
Judah Krieger is the glue that's kept us all together over the years, and with good reason. Anyone who can command Moreno and Johnson in the same unit without somebody getting fragged is one hell of a leader. Krieger was polite and kind, but never warm. He always did his best to make me feel welcome in the group. I think he did it out of a sense of loyalty to my father. Loyalty means a lot to Judah. Not loyalty to the Enclave, or even the ideals they fought for, but to the people who served with him. Sometimes I wonder how much of my father they see in me. They went through a lot together, but my family went through it too. I'm glad they've watched out for me all these years.
Bother someone else. I don't want anything to do with you.
Is there something else I can do for you? I'm intrigued, so I'll go to this reunion. I'll be handing things over to Calamity, so talk to her if anything comes up. Oh, you'll need my word from the passphrase to get into the bunker. Friends. Don't forget it. Yes, yes.
Doc Henry always was a hard one to figure out. It didn't seem to matter whether he was working with humans or dogs. He had an equal lack of affection for both. A regular Diogenes. I'm not sure what the man was after. Knowledge is power, but to what end for Henry, I have no idea. The problem was what mattered to him, not its practical impact. He simply solved riddles because they existed. Not everyone dreams of being a revolutionary, I suppose. Maybe we can't all change the world. Maybe it's enough just to do good for the short time that we're here. No one's going to sing Doc Henry's praises when he's gone. But he's probably saved more lives than I ever will.
Hey there. All right. Give me a shout if you need anything.
They say those robots on the strip are running around with different faces or something. Don't ask, because I don't know. Glad to see you made it here all right. So, who are we going up against? Moreno, Johnson, Henry, and I will be the boots on the ground. Whitman will stay with the vertibird. This was a minor refueling station for vertibirds. It seemed an appropriate place to stash our equipment if we ever needed it. I'm surprised this place hasn't fallen apart. When I put it into standby mode, I expected to return to it within a few years, not decades. Then that's the plan. We're gonna have a problem with Moreno, though. He won't like that we're helping the NCR. You'll have to talk to him. I stopped being Moreno's officer a long time ago. Everyone here respects me, but they don't need to follow my orders. Not anymore. He won't turn on us, but he's a good shot, and I'd hate to do this without him. They won. We didn't. It's as simple as that. The rest of us moved on while Moreno didn't. Still, I'm not convinced Moreno hates the NCR as much as he thinks he does. You still might be able to talk him out of leaving. You've got only one chance at this. I know Moreno. Once he's made up his mind about something, there's no changing it. The NCR is the best bet for the wasteland. I'm glad we'll be helping them out.
I'd love to see the look on the NCR's face when I swoop down in my chopper.
The NCR's got its share of warts, but I'd rather have them around than the Legion.
I didn't come all the way out here just so we could save the fucking NCR. I'm out. I can't believe you've actually talked me into this. Fine, I'm in. But don't expect me to hold my fire if any NCR troops get in the way.
Thanks for doing this. Getting them all back together again. I'll be honest, when Moreno started going off, I didn't think we'd all be walking out of there in one piece. I still don't know how this is all going to shake out in the end, but at least the Enclave can atone a bit for all the damage it's done. I've been wondering about Daisy and the others for so long, I still haven't figured out what I should do. I mean, I'm not like them. I was born at Navarro and my father served with them, but I wasn't really part of the Enclave. It seems presumptuous of me to think I could join the fight, even if this is a cause worth fighting for. Because I know when fighting breaks out at the dam, all hell is going to break loose in Freeside. They're going to need every doctor they can get. I honestly didn't expect you to say that. When I talked to you about Daisy and the others, you seemed to put a lot of value in loyalty to the past. What's changed since then? True enough, I suppose. Getting them back together must be worth more than me spraying plasma all over the dam. Back to Freeside it is. I need to make a stop before I settle in. I'll be back in a while. Thanks again for your help.
Moreno's a stubborn son of a bitch, but he's also tougher than any of us. I'm glad you were able to talk him into staying. Since Whitman will be staying with the Vertibird, she's offered to give her old suit of power armor to you. You'll need special training to use it properly. The training might take several hours. Prim has a new sheriff. That should keep the powder gangers away.
I appreciate you keeping Orion in the group. Since I won't be needing my armor, makes the cockpit a bit cramped, you should take it. It'll take a few hours.
Like I said, I needed to go do something. This is it. I thought I might wear it at Hoover Dam, but after you talked me out of it, I didn't see the... I'm here because of you, so I figured you're the one most deserving of it. And if you need anything at all, back to old Mormon Fort, where I can do some good. We followers may be idealistic, but even I know this is going to end in blood. Fortis fortuna adiuvat.
This place doesn't look like much, does it? I didn't believe this was Randall's old joint until I checked inside. Shame that it's been left abandoned. That painting is something to see. I figured it was a matter of time before you showed. Rumors spread like the clap in the Mojave. At any rate, you're here in all your glory. The Courier. Do you get tired of that title? It's not very imposing, you know? Maybe that's the beauty of it. Nobody expects to be downed by a messenger. Hey, here's your letter. Oh, and you're dead. Do you pronounce it courier or courier? Probably doesn't matter. Tomato, tomato. It's a matter of what I need, actually. My job is to relay a message from my supervisor, a fellow by the name of Marco. See, he's rather upset over his brother's death, and he wants to settle with you, in Utah. It's a very long trip. Luckily, I know the way. You are tightly wound, you know that? Just relax, hero. You'll get there soon enough. First, you're gonna help me with some business here. There are a few contacts here in the Mojave that I need to sort out on behalf of Marco's business interests. Funny thing is that there's some overlap with your past work. I managed to look through some of Randall's old records in the shack. To his credit, the man kept very meticulous records. He must have been quite the typist. Anyway, if you want to reach Utah, first you'll help me solve problems. Sort of like bounty hunting. Oh, and don't worry, you won't have to kill any women or children. Nothing that might compromise your code. These pretty much have it coming. The sort involving scumbags who haven't kicked up to their betters and are a touch defiant. That kind of hubris tends to draw bad karma. Are you still firing on all cylinders? I know you suffered a brain injury, but I'm not sure if I can ferry an invalid about. What a team we'll be. I can't wait. Gotta make a little stop before we meet the first guy. Here's the spot on your map. See you there.
Howdy, partner. I'm sorry. If this is your first rodeo with the old horseshoes, Lucky Horseshoes is played with cards. Number 2. You and old Festus will take turns drawing cards. Each time we draw a card, we add it to our... If either of us draws a card that brings our total up to the same number as the other, when this happens, it's called Lucky Horseshoes. When one of us is closer to 21 and the other can't get any closer, either by going over or because he or she held, old Festus likes the game because there are no ties in Lucky Horseshoes. If someone's sitting pretty on 21, but enough jawing. Oh, new to the hunt, are ya? Well, listen. Select Sunset Sass. Howdy, partner. Welcome. It looks like you've got a fair number of
Yes? I had a non-traditional upbringing, with the requisite amount of violence for wasteland standards. Marco found me when I was a young man. I was just a thug when we met. He saw something in me, something I didn't know about myself. He just has that ability. It's uncanny. He pushed me to become more proficient at violence, but also instilled the urge to educate myself. It's amazing what learned slaves can teach you. I have no doubt I would have perished in some scrape back east if I hadn't met Marco. I would have been another anonymous, forgotten raider. Some gang members came and went, like Red Bear. They feared Marco, so their presence was usually ephemeral. There was always a core, though. We stay loyal to Marco because he wins every time, against all odds. There's profit, but also brotherhood. Is it the same with your group? So it's strictly about the caps. No relationship beyond that? Cold, but probably more efficient. Do you always imagine elaborate, contrived showdowns with your antagonists? I'm afraid Marco's a touch more pragmatic in his outlook. Don't worry, he'll fight you on his own terms when the time's right. First, I have to see to his interests while he stabilizes things in Utah. He told me that Sergio came here, squared off with you in some mountain town. Didn't work out well for him, did it? Do you want Marco that badly? You have to know that it's risky going up to Utah. To your credit, you are adaptable. Some things can't be accounted for, though. When you taste Marco's vengeance, it will cut you off at the knees. You ever seen a cripple win a wrestling match? I mean, I've seen some midgets put up a mean fight with arm bars and whatnot, but never a gimp. Yes? It was given to me when I came of age, so very long ago. Though it's unsightly and cumbersome, there's no questioning its value. The targeting alone has saved my skin more than a few times. Of all the paths I've walked, all the trials I've endured, it's been constant. Yes, this Pip-Boy is better than a loyal hound. Certainly superior to a wife. God, it's not even close. Ah, you made it. The fiends really know how to make a neighborhood their own, don't they? Speaking of fiends, you remember Eileen, right? Slightly unbalanced gal who liked to sever men's genitalia? Yeah, hard to forget. Way back when you knocked her off, NCR started telling people that it was finally safe to start moving in around here, due to law and order. Well, as you probably know, the fiends were a bit more resilient than they had expected. Oh, and it turns out Eileen wasn't even the worst one. Actually, she kept some of the more savage elements in line with the threat of emasculation. What a word, emasculation. Shout it to the heavens. After you disposed of Eileen, a nice gentleman named Troy took over her crew. He was no power player, but he certainly left his mark. You see, Troy was a chronic rapist, even worse than old Cook. Not long after the Owen family moved in here, Troy paid him a visit. Let's go inside and see his handiwork, shall we? You know, if I knew that I caused this, even in a crazy roundabout sort of way, that would just eat me up inside. Sort of awkward now. In some circles, that would be called ducking responsibility. Troy was nothing before you killed Eileen. On top of the money, I completely understand killing Eileen, given the habitual severing of penises. In my book, that's right up there with murder. But don't doubt for a second that you set this in motion. You can't kill and walk away no matter what side of the law you think you're on. Nonetheless, we can sit here arguing about rapists and dick cutters, or we can go kill fiends. Never gets old, does it? I'll see you at Troy's. I just love a quick jaunt through the ruins of a dead city. Makes me feel privileged to be alive. Maybe that's just me. I suppose we should make our way to Troy now, seeing as to how you're a famous, cold-blooded, God-fearing and bounty hunter. I'll follow your lead. One thing, though. Please don't cut off random fingers in the hopes of collecting a reward. After you.
Who the fuck are you? What the fuck are you doing here?
Troy. You have been a busy little boy, haven't you? All that robbing and raping going on, yet you can't seem to return messages.
What? Who the fuck? I'm about to light your ass up, cocksucker. You know who I am? I'm gonna smoke you, then fuck you right up the ass.
No, you won't, Troy. Do you know who I work for? Gentleman by the name of Marco. He's very unhappy that you ignored his messages. Not good, Troy.
Marco? He sent you? Oh, fuck. I didn't mean to ignore him. Shit just got fucked up. I was busy and...
Shh, Troy. Calm yourself. No point in making a scene. Keep your dignity intact. You could have avoided this with timely correspondence.
Oh, God. He sent you to kill me, didn't he? Please, don't. I'll give you money, girls, anything.
Why does everyone just assume I would want a woman? I do prefer them, but you never know. Doesn't matter. Troy, this is a matter of balance.
I can't go like this! Mama!
Now, would you look at that? Troy, you went and pissed yourself. Would you relax? I'm not going to kill you.
Really? Oh, thank you. I'll do whatever you want. Just tell Marco. I'll do it.
No, I won't kill you, Troy. This bounty hunter will.
Oh, shit, Mama!
Hey!
Bravo. When Marco told me to bring you, I told him, well, I thought that it was crazy. But you know what? He was right. You're a real killer. Next stop, Freeside. We get to take in the splendor of Vegas's grand cesspool. I'll see you there.
Looks like Gamora's under new management. I wonder what happened. Those squatters think they're entitled to everything.
What do you need? Bye.
If you're wondering, this fine establishment is known as Carl's Candy, with a K. Unfortunately, they do not offer confectionaries. No, Carl's is just one of many brothels in Freeside, but it should interest you for at least one reason. That comely young lady soliciting her services on the corner is known as Jill. Apparently, she's the daughter of the late Charlie Halfcock. See, Charlie's mercenary work provided for his daughter after his wife left him. With a name like Halfcock, you can imagine why she left. Single father with half a penis and a powerful rifle. What a story. But then, he met you. His kid, orphaned. Though only at the tender age of 16, Jill took it upon herself to make her way in the Mojave. With few marketable skills, Jill was soon forced to rely on her most valuable asset, her body. Carl quickly scooped her up and made her his own. But it doesn't end there, friend. Carl doesn't just pimp out girls. He makes them utterly dependent through chem abuse. Pretty soon Jill was strung out on jet and completely broke. She became de facto property of Carl. Coincidentally, I have to deliver some news to Carl so we can kill two perverts with one stone. You better lead the way, though. My rugged looks are simply magnetic to females, and I don't want to be swarmed by hussies.
Shut the fuck up! Do you mind? I am trying to work here. If you're looking for some tail, check downstairs.
What do you need? Bye.
Carl, tell me, does it make you feel strong when you smack around starving hookers? This is a real man right here.
Ooh, excuse me? You go walk into my place and lay down attitude? Motherfucker, I will crack your skull open and shit in it.
As much as I want to be moved by that arresting imagery, I need to get to the point, Carl. Do you remember the arrangement you had with Marco?
Marco? Are you serious? That motherfucker ain't even real. So I took some guy's money and said I'd kick it up to Marco. What of it? It was a scam.
No scam, Carl. You knowingly stole from one of Marco's associates, then went on to denounce the whole affair in public. Bad judgment, my boy.
You can't be serious. I was just joking with some boys in Freeside. Everyone knows Marco isn't real. Right? Oh, fuck, man. Oh, fuck. Holy shit, man.
No joke, Carl. We'll make it quick. Or maybe not. It's really up to the discretion of my associate.
Help!
And that's how it's done, partner. You showed patience, but didn't hesitate when it was time to act. Well done. Just one more stop, and then we can begin the great trek. There's a little homestead I want you to see first, though.
What do you need? Bye.
This fine residence is the home of Dana Quigley, widow of the late Tom Quigley. You remember him, right? Though an inveterate womanizer and a madman, Ranger Quigley still sent proceeds from his caravan robberies to his family. When his mischief caught up with him, Mrs. Quigley found herself destitute and struggled to provide for 3 children. On the verge of starvation and homelessness, Mrs. Quigley soon received an offer from a businessman. In exchange for a hefty sum, he would seize Mrs. Quigley's daughter and sell her to Kaiser's Legion. She accepted the offer. While the initial windfall tided them over for a spell, the Quigley residence has fallen on hard times once again. Crop failures and whatnot. Already maddened with regret over her daughter's fate, now Mrs. Quigley must decide how to proceed. Sell the farm? Prostitute herself? Sell a child? The dilemmas of the wasteland. Why don't we pay her a visit? You should have plenty to talk about. That's the spirit. Help the hapless damsel who pawned her only daughter off to be the plaything of sadistic barbarians. Fantastico.
Can I help you? How did you know? I never told anyone, not ever. Please, 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 you can't tell anyone. You must understand, we were starving. Thank you. Please, just leave me in peace now.
Hey, anything going on?
Wow. You actually surprised me that time. I am impressed. You have a cold, cold heart, my friend. There's more to you than I realized. I'd ask if you feel responsible, but I know you don't care.